Hey Aries, welcome to the after party. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tossing me 5 entire bucks. I appreciate your entire vibe. I'm gonna put on some side chill, side trance. I don't fucking know. It's got a submarine on it. So what's the point here of the after party? Well, it's where we get a little bit casual. It's where we talk a little bit more frankly, and you get a little bit more of unfilteredness. We let our hair down as much as the shit will even come down. So, I want to go through and pull some cards specifically for, I guess, the astrology, and I kind of want to get more into maybe that love situation that you guys might be having. Now listen, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I completely abandoned reading on psychic hotlines because I'm a shitty love reader. I got a Capricorn Venus, babe. Like, no, I'm not all squish. But we're gonna try for you this month because I don't know, I have this feeling. And especially when I've got the Empress coming up, I mean Venus going into Libra, in your, what was that, 7th house? Yeah, and then you got like sexy shit happening in your 5th house. I guess I should get my notes out. Yeah, so what the fuck here? Yeah, okay, so the new moon in Leo in your 5th house of like, oh my god, romance, everything's gorgeous, you're so hot. And then Venus into Libra in the 7th of like, be my wife, or whatever, be my they, be my partner. Okay. So I feel like the way that you meet this person, or the way that you end up courting this person, or they end up courting you, is actually some kind of unlikely and perhaps undesirable situation. Because like, we got this dude over here with the swords being like, got away with some shit, you know what I mean? And then we've got the devil in reverse. So this is like, this feels like things coming to a head for me. Maybe there's an unequal situation that comes to a head, and maybe it's even with this person or peripheral to this person, and they might be on your side in this situation. Again, and this kind of fits right in with what I said in the general Aries reading about this might be somebody that you work with. We have a floor card. Can't wait. I'm reading this upright. Fuck it. Knight of Pentacles. You have a solution. You've got the means and the know-how to get through this situation. And you actually might have a concrete plan to lay out with this person. This feels like a really good way to start any kind of romantic or business situation. King of Cups. So I feel like somebody, maybe the conflict in this situation was started by someone who's being a little manipulative. And you might have had to call it out. Or you might have had to step in when something failed. And again, we've got this 3 of Pentacles showing up. So maybe you've had to part ways with a group of people or a company or a social structure, you know, where maybe you were taking on too much and your offerings weren't being appreciated. All right, sorry, I keep looking down at the cards. I should have a secondary camera. Your $5 is going into the secondary camera fund. So thank you. And then we've got the Knight of Swords. Were you a little hasty in your words? What do you mean were? This is for August. What is time? All right. Since August is in front of us, let's use this as a slight warning. You have a right to say everything that you gotta say, but I have a feeling that if you don't weigh your words properly, that you might say stuff that you regret and maybe make things worse than they have to be. You've got, listen, if it can wait until the end of the month, Aries, you've got Mercury going into Libra on the 30th. So depending on how and when this plays out for you, you know, maybe collect more data. You know, you can always give somebody enough rope to hang themselves with. I know that sounds kind of manipulative and shady. I don't mean it that way. Sitting back and observing, I think, and mirroring can be just as potent when you're faced with a situation where you feel as though if you talk at all, you're not going to be coming with the correct energy. What's that Einstein quote? A problem can't be solved from the same level of consciousness that it was created from. Keep that in mind. You know, listen, I am, as much as I want to be a higher vibrational person and I want to, you know, bring that to the table, I also believe that sometimes things have to be messy to get cleaned up. Just keep that in mind. Whatever you do, try to have your communication be in a solving it way. So what does this mean? This means like, okay, there's a problem. You've identified the problem. You want to talk about the problem. So, okay, fine. Why don't we come into the conversation armed with how to solve it and lead with that? Hey, noticed this, observed this. I figure we could fix it this way. So talk once you've worked through the feelings and the trigger. For those of you who care, Ethereum is up 7%. What were we talking about your second house? Your second, maybe that's a sign, Aries. I am not a financial advisor, but maybe that's a sign because we got this second house shit. Uranus retrograde in the second house. What else is going on in your second house? Yeah, maybe that's a sign for you, Ethereum. Anyway, who's tired of hearing about crypto? Not me, probably everyone else around me though. Let's get one or two more cards out here. And then we're going to look a little bit more into this Empress figure and maybe this Devil figure, because maybe this person that you're finding yourself more involved with is a Libra, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. God help you. God help you. I can say that because I'm very heavy Capricorn. All right, let's get this one card to wrap it up and then we'll move into those two characters. Yes, yes. Yeah, okay. Balance. Again, Libra shit. So this has to do with that communication that I was talking about before I got sidetracked by Ethereum. Yeah, weigh your words. Weigh them. Is it constructive? Is it helpful? If you're talking to vent, maybe put that into a physical form, like go extra hard at the gym, don't hurt yourself. Or whatever, right? Because we've got, see, this is the thing. Mercury is in Virgo until the 30th. So Virgo is kind of uncomfortable for Aries. You might find a lot of restriction in what you want to say. Like you get really caught up in the details. And that's not cardinal energy. You are cardinal energy. You are the driving force. In fact, you're the driving force of the whole fucking zodiac. So you're not going to want to get caught up in details. Just recognize that energy exists and those potentials exist because we are exploring August to be able to circumvent the sticky parts. So take this as a forecast in the way that is workable. These are workarounds to the energy that is most likely. I'm talking too fast. Have you had enough water today? Have you? You know, I mean, I talk about drinking water, but like the way that I get my water in me is putting just a little bit of juice in there because I'm a child and apparently I can't just drink water. Anyway. Okay. Who dis? Who dis? Who are they? Do you guys know who these people are yet? Again, Libra, Taurus, or a Capricorn. And I also kind of wanted to say Virgo in there. So let's take a look at this Empress human. Now this could be just a general energy for a lot of you, but let's explore this person. Okay, maybe this is someone that you've been attracted to for a while and you've kind of been biding your time, or someone that you put some work into it and into the relationship, and then you just figured they weren't into you. Maybe things kind of stalled out for you. Maybe you're feeling blocked, and maybe that was your own blockages. Like they wouldn't be into me. They wouldn't be into you. Floor cards. Okay, this situation turns around, and then we get that 5th house, 7th house stuff. 5th house, joy, happiness. 7th house, 11, structure, fidelity, even playing field, building something. You know, this is really nice. So this Libra, this Taurus, potentially a Virgo, it looks really nice. Go for it. Go for it, Aries. You need a break. You've been working so hard. Let's look at this Capricorn. Floor cards. Okay, we had this come up. We had this come up in the general for Aries. So you're conflicted. Seems like you're conflicted about this Capricorn, or something happens that sort of changes your mind about them. Cuts through some confusion. You're like, oh, that's who you are. Because Capricorns can be really guarded before they let you in, right? They've got, yeah, I mean, inside, Capricorns are Cancers. So they put up a really hard exterior because they feel so deeply, they don't want to burden you with their emotions. And God forbid anybody ever thinks that a Capricorn is too emotional to get the job done or too fragile. Because once you get to know a Capricorn, you get to know just how deep it goes in there, and like how deep the insecurities are, and how deep the questioning of oneself is, but also how fucking incredibly paradoxically resilient they are. So I think I just went into that tirade because that seems applicable here. So you might feel as though this situation with this Capricorn, I feel like there's been a lot of go back and forth between you and this Capricorn. And you might feel as though, okay, why? Like, why am I going to put in so much energy when you're not letting me in? Like, I'm getting bored. I feel that. I feel a certain amount of boredom, or you feeling like it was over before it began. Maybe this Capricorn, you extended to them like, hey, do you want to hang out? We both have horns. And this Capricorn misunderstood you and didn't get it, didn't understand that you were flirting. Capricorns are kind of dumb. I get to say that. Yeah, okay, so maybe you feel rejected by this Capricorn and you walked away. Or you will be. Again, we're working in the future here, right? And you're good with that. You're good with it. I want to backtrack a little bit with this Capricorn too, and I want to relate this to a limiting situation, because that's something we also spoke of in the Aries reading. was a limiting situation that you were popping off about or getting out of. So let's read this progression in that way and say, okay, so you were stuck in this limiting situation because I don't think you really even trusted your judgment here. Or you stayed in it because you felt like you had no other options. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why we stay in shit that we don't want to do, right? And you know, you tried to communicate about it, and every time you tried to communicate about it, there's this brick wall, you know, or you were made to feel inadequate somehow, or completely isolated and alone. Maybe you were forcibly isolated because your ideas were unpopular or challenged the status quo. What else is new, Aries, for you? God bless you. You do so much work. So you were like, I can't leave, but I can't stay. Stuck. And then, okay, how do I find satisfaction in what I'm doing? How can I work within the structures that I have to work within and still get my needs met? It's a pile of shit. How do I turn this pile of shit into not a pile of shit? I'm getting less articulate as we go along. And so how does that happen? By focusing on what's going right, by focusing on where your efforts are succeeding, and pouring your energy into that. Because when the energy is stopped up, that's when we really come into conflict, right? If you can keep the energy moving and go, okay, fine, this isn't working over here, pivot, put the energy here. You don't want to hear me? Okay, that's fine. You go ahead and make the mistake that I'm trying to help you avoid. I'll be over here doing this thing that I'm good at, that you ain't gotta tell me. You don't have to micromanage me on, because I do feel like there's micromanagement here. And I feel like you're far more on top of the situation than people are giving you credit for. I feel like you're feeling as though if they just let you loose a little bit, you can make a lot of innovations and a lot of solutions, but you're cramped. There is a new balance coming here with this. This is a very heavily Sagittarian card. So the truth will be revealed. And I have a feeling that this is going to coincide with August 30th when Mercury goes into Libra in your 7th house. So again, relationship stuff or business stuff. The unfairness. This is Libra upside down. This is no good Libra. This is no good Libra. This is imbalance. And it will be rectified. And the situation probably, like, the dead will rise. You know, arguments that maybe you avoided, or conflict that you avoided when you pivoted and just said, okay, I'm going to put my nose into this now, as opposed to getting embroiled in that shit. It comes back up naturally, which has you smelling like roses. Yeah. Then you're perfectly primed at the end of the month. And you don't lose anything, right? You don't lose the things that you thought you were going to lose earlier in the month if you were to run your mouth. Sit on it. I remember, you know, in the beginning of the video, I was like, well, if you want to say it now, blah, blah, blah. Nope. No. Sit on it. Don't let it eat you alive. Like, go take it out on a heavy bag at the gym or whatever. You're going to be in such a better position. Just avoid the drama. Stop ramming your horns against the same wall this month, because this situation is going to clear itself up, and you're going to look great. You're going to look great because you had this maturity. You had this overwhelming maturity, which brings us back to that Devil card. You know, spiritual maturity as well is understanding that limitations are illusion and being able to recognize the ebb and flow of things. Things aren't flowing in this direction. Okay, let's move the wave over here. And that's what you do in August. And that's what wins. Cool. I love you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. I hope this resonated with you. Let me know if it did. I want to get better all the time. So let me know what you need, what you want. If you want some structure, any kind of structure, just let me know. Love you, bye.